Hey guys, what's going on? I'm doing a quick video about this guy called Stephen Dux of StephenDuxy.com. Not quite sure why his website has an extra I at the end here, so it's like you'd think it would just be his name, right? StephenDux.com, but there's an extra I. I haven't tried this guy's services. I just wanted to give an overview of who he is, what I know about him from the past, and introduce you guys to him if you haven't heard of him yet. So this is his website. You can go and check it out, StephenDuxy.com. It's got a decent blog on it. Let's have a look. So it's well done. It's a very nicely done website. But one thing I don't like so much about him is he does do a lot of the posing, and that might come from his past of being connected with Timothy Sykes of the Orange Lambo fame. So he does do a lot of this kind of advertising or showing off with lifestyle marketing type stuff. Probably takes it to a whole new level compared to Timothy Sykes, but anyway, go and check out this. It was quite good. He has this thing called the Freedom Challenge, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But let me just start by saying, he's pretty much a legend. So if you've been a trader for more than a few years now, you'll have come across this guy. It seems like back in the day, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago, he was more famous. He was working more closely with Timothy Sykes, and so he was like better known. So you guys might not have heard of him if you started trading recently. He's a penny stock trader, really focuses on small caps. So this is him, kind of a grainy picture. I'll leave a link in the description to this article so you can go and check it out, and some of the other stuff on this article is pretty interesting. He was born in China and he moved to the US as a child, so his family was kind of one of these stories where his family was like struggling, and he ended up making it big. His main claim to fame, by the way, is basically starting trading with $20,000 and turning it into $5 million, which really doesn't sound very realistic to the vast majority of people, right? It just sounds like total lies. And normally I would disregard that, but his history with Tim Sykes and seeing his trades uploaded on Profit.ly, also the fact that somebody I know has done a really in-depth research into his broker statements and everything, and their result was, they came back and said it's pretty much spot on. It's like, this guy's not making this stuff up. So I don't want to dwell on that too much, but there's been a bit of research by other people into this guy's track record, and they've really discovered that it's probably fairly legit, despite how ridiculous it seems. So Stephen Dux is just his American name. His real name is this. I'm not even going to try and say that. Maybe you guys know how to say it. But that's, so that's his actual birth name. Apparently, when he first started trading, he was really into patterns and numbers as a teenager. So when he started trading, it was really kind of technical analysis was the way he was going to go, right? So his past and track record and things are, well, not his track record, but his past is kind of, depends where you read what he did. So apparently he was in college. I think he was doing engineering, and he started trading really, started really fully working as a day trader when he was in college, taking small amounts. And it sounds like what he did was he was short in penny stocks a lot. So this is one thing that makes me think that his track record is probably really legit, is he was doing kind of the opposite of what I was doing maybe a couple of years ago, where you short sell into a strong penny stock pump by these chat rooms. So chat rooms like Timothy Sykes, for example, where they have a lot of people pumping up the price of a stock. It sounds like what Stephen would do is he'd then short it down, giving him an extremely high success rate and allowing him to go in with very large positions into these trades. So that definitely adds credibility to how he's made all this money, because I know I was doing that for a long time, and it was such a successful way to trade, using these pumping chat rooms to make money off the back of them. As long as you don't get greedy, it works really well. Just for quick scalps on them. So yeah, he was born in 1994, so he's not that young, not that old. The city isn't that well known, so again, I can't really say this name. Maybe you guys are more familiar with China, I can say it, but it's not that very well known. And it seems like his family wasn't really very wealthy either. It does sound like there was some entrepreneurship though, which is always a recipe for maybe the offspring growing up to be more entrepreneurial. So it sounds like they had a store, or the dad had a store or something, and that really kind of sparked the drive for Stephen to start to try and make some more money, independent of the typical 9 to 5 type of job. So they were pretty poor though, so it does say here that lower income neighbourhoods, so a little store that catered to the locals. So yeah, apparently Stephen's dad also was into property investing. Unfortunately, it looks like there was some family drama there and the dad just didn't repay the loan or whatever. All this material's available on the internet, so what I've really done here is just kind of compile it into the short story. So again, Timothy Sykes, so you guys must know who he is, right? Timothy Sykes, basically one of the most famous day trading penny stock traders in the world. There was some connections. I think what happened is Stephen joined Timothy Sykes' Traders Challenge, so I don't know if Sykes even still offers this, but basically you could pay like a couple of $1,000s and become a trading challenge student of Timothy Sykes. So that's what it looks like Stephen Dux did. And apparently during that time he grew his 20k to about 100k by actively trading these penny stocks that Sykes was involved in. Sykes basically started to use him as a poster child, so he'd use him in his marketing, he'd do interviews and things. And if you go to Stephen Dux's YouTube channel, you can look through it and see all these things documented from years ago. So I did watch one where it basically talked, like Stephen was talking about how he did learn so much from Tim Sykes and Tim Brittany. These days he seems to have distanced himself quite a bit from them, so it's not so easy to find information on that. Like I said, really it was short selling. He seemed to be that's what he was doing, is shorting these pumps from these traders. So honestly, that is a really valid way to make lots of money trading penny stocks. Just short the ones that have been pumped by a chat room and just get that little scalp on the way down. The only difficulty with that, and it sounds so simple, but you do have to have access to a lot of the shorts, right? So not all brokerages have available shares, so it takes a little bit of work to find the right brokerages. They often have high borrow fees, and then you've got to time your entries and exits on the pumps as well. So kind of really a Timothy Sykes strategy taken to the next level though. So like I said, this is crazy. He went from 20,000 to 5 million over the course of a few years. Looking through what he's done, you can check some of the trades I've put here and things. But really, I'm just pretty impressed with this guy overall. He seems really smart. Obviously worked hard to get to where he's at. And the trading style he's taken definitely seems to be a legit one, from my own experience as well. He has a few different products, none of which I've actually tested, but you can go and check them out on StephenDux.com, StephenDuxy.com. One of the most popular ones it looks like is this Trading Techniques course. So it looks like it's a pretty in-depth technical analysis course. The costs are kind of hidden, so I can't really tell you how much it costs. You have to apply, and then you find out what the costs are for these things. But overall, I really like this story from Stephen Dux. I think he is a legitimate guy from what I can see, and I think it's somebody you could learn quite a lot from. Really useful. Alright guys, catch up with you in the next video. Cheers.